Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. My name is Ace and this is my very first attempt at a Smite shoutcasting video on my YouTube channel. Of course, this is not my very first shoutcast experience ever. I have done multiple shoutcasts alone as well as being a co-caster for TF2, including being a cameraman. And we'll see how that turns out if I do it on myself, for you guys as well, of course, as a very first attempt for Smite. So without further ado, looking at the red team, we have a Freya, Anher, Ymir, Guan, and Kali. So a very solid team that can snowball very hard with their carries. But looking at the blue team, we have a very lovely Hades, Poseidon, Odin, Sobek, and Neve. So they are going to rely on hopefully getting those team fights and getting those team ultimates placed correctly on the enemy team and just reaping havoc with that. Imagine Hades going in, pulling everybody in. Odin, I should say, not the H. The H is very much silent as it is not even there. Can lock everybody in. Perhaps with Sobek, which they can also use as ultimate. And then Poseidon can basically use the Kraken to do massive amounts of burst damage while they cannot escape. So they might be looking for some mid-game, late-game action where the red team is supposed to be relying on that early game, hopefully snowballing and not allowing that blue team to take the advantage in the team fights. Doesn't mean that blue team can't snowball. It all depends, of course, how passive red team is going to be, or how aggressive, and how well the other team handles that, of course. Now, it looks like red team is going to be casually using the camps to get that early experience, but they might be in for a surprise as the entire blue team is apparently going to say hello on a very aggressive way. They might be looking for a early invade with a gank on Freya and Guan as they are casually waiting behind the wall here. I'm going to assume they are going to go and try and get a gank off as they have a lot of potential stuns, snares, and slows here to make that happen. Neve and Hades are going in, going to check the camp. The other team members are not there to follow up though, as Freya is dropping awkwardly low with the burst damage, but it seems that the camp that they are trying to get is actually tanking for them as well, which means they do lose the experience, but they do not die early game. So first blood is still safe, but blue takes that early experience. However, judging by Kali trying to help out though, she gets picked off guard as everybody here on the blue team is pumping in damage, and it looks like she's actually the middle lane, which is going to bode very well for Neve, which appears to handle the middle lane herself as Kali drops low. Now getting a good snare on Kali is gonna basically give an opportunity to kill her looking at her health. So we'll see how that turns out as the blue team is now casually returning to lanes or to the respectable camps that they should take. Now, judging by the action, it looks like it's Anher and Ymir on the left lane, which is actually very potent, and I'm expecting them to take the early kills if they are fighting against Hades. And there drops Kali by Neve, as to be expected. I didn't see it just in time, but I did predicted it. Yes, exactly. I predicted that Neve was going to get her with a nice snare as she already dropped so low. And Kali can't really fight against Neve, especially early game, unless she can jump in and spin to win, as Neve is able to actually snare her in place or even jump away if necessary. So Kali is in for a rough battle ahead. But talking about the left lane, once again, it's Ymir and Anher against Hades and Odin. So until level 5 is actually a thing, Anher and Hades, at least Anher and Ymir are going to have a fun time. Odin is trying to get some damage on Anher though, but he's getting slowed because of the pillar as he drops Anher very low, but he is forced back as Ymir is punching away on him. Hades can't really follow up just yet. They are level 3. So the early combos are there yet, but Odin and Hades are going to rely on their ultimates, even though Ymir and Anher can already slow and stun without too much of an issue. So we might see an early kill here as Hades is trying to go in, but he can't pull up. Odin tries to go in as well as he once again gets slowed by the pillar. Anher is just doing some casual damage as he jumps out of harm's way. Ymir is just tanking it like the tank that the tank is supposed to be. And that is pretty much it. Anher may look like he's going back relatively soon, or he's just going to stay in lane, whatever the case may be. But judging at the mid lane, Kali is struggling to push away from her tower as well. And once Neve is level 5, which he just turned, we might be looking at a snipe. And as I say this, he is eagerly looking for a snipe. Is it going to be on Freya? No, it's going to be on Anher by the looks of it. But it appears that Ymir was able to tank it without too much of a fuzz, which is a very nice thing to do as a tank. A lot of people underestimate that you can actually physically block the Neith ultimate. And it's a very hero-like thing to do, especially when the target is your, the carry, or one of the carries, and you are the tank. It is almost your job to do that and to watch out for that. As it looks like the right lane is kind of lonely as Odin drops on the left lane. I'm constantly a little bit too late for the action. Looks like Anner got the kill. Ymir is just going to stay around and clean the minion wave with his ultimate, as he then probably is going to look to go back as well and buy himself some nice goodies. So the right lane is losing as they are slowly turning level 5, as to be expected, as to be predicted almost. But the middle tower is under attack as Kali can't really fight her off. And even if she does, she might get caught and killed. So she is still very much struggling. But now she's level 5. She might look for an opening, and she can also heal herself, of course. So don't count Kali out just yet, as he's pushing aggressively back into the lane. So Neith has to watch her toes. Odin just casually trying to grab some camps to regain some experience, as Hades might be looking for a potential gank on the mid lane. Can we make it happen? Kali is eager and sees it coming and just backs out and does not get killed. Very nice observation by seeing Hades coming in and pulling out just before she got caught in it. So Kali is indeed aware of all the situations at hand. Odin still just rampaging the camps, stealing all the experience, which of course also puts a potential damper on the experience gain from the red team if they ever decide to go into those camps. However, on the right lane here, Guan is getting pulled out. The ultimate takes him down, and Freya goes with it. A nice double kill here by our beloved Sobek. Lovely and nicely done. Actually, yes, it was a double kill by Sobek. Of course, you want the kills on Poseidon, but you can't always have what you want. So you have to be patient. The lane is going into Blue's favor. So I was expecting Red to try and snowball, but Blue is actually not letting them do that. So this game might actually very much snowball in Blue's favor. Looking at the money right now, it's almost a K difference. In fact, it's more than a K difference in favor of Blue, as Blue only has 1 death and 3 deaths on the red team. Judging by the items as well, it appears that, well, it's actually the ability items are really being bought for Blue team, so they are snowballing. They are just going to try and keep that up with the abilities that may give them the edge. Where the real items, though, are looking to be bought across the board. Really, they're finishing off the boots. Everybody's rushing boots as to be expected. So it's all good. Neith just clearing out the wave, but looking at the left lane, now that Hades and Odin are above level 5, their ultimates are ready, and they might be looking for an ultimate attempt here, as Hades is standing behind that corner. Ymir does do a wall, though, as Ymir is trying to get a stun and a combo on him, but there's Odin's ultimate, locking everybody in. Hades jumps in and uses his ultimate as well. They were looking for that combo, and does it work? Hades dropping awkwardly low. The pillar has been put down. No, Anner doesn't take it for granted, and he turns it around on Hades. And now that Odin is stuck in place once again, he might drop as well, even though he does finish off Anner and hopefully gets away as well, as Ymir is trying to give chase, and it doesn't look like it's happening. So a 1-for-1. A nice turnaround by Red. But then again, they got greedy, and Odin turned around dead on them again. So it's a turnaround on turnaround. As the game finally starts taking shape, people are leaving their lanes more often. As we see a nice potential team fight going here in the mid lane. One getting a stun off with his ultimate. Poseidon dropping awkwardly low. Freya might be looking for an opportunity with her own ultimate if she gets into the air. No, she banishes Sobek as she pulls out as he's below half health. And Guan can't do it on his own because he is but a tank. And tanks need assistance from their carries or, of course, their assassins of their team. So looking like Guan might be able to stop. No, Neith pulls out just in time, as we might be looking at a potential early tower now. Not an early tower even, just a tower kill on the mid lane. Just gonna take a look as they are trying to punish the mid tower as much as they can. But Sobek says hello, and he says no to the tower killing as he cleans up the minions and tries to peel some of course, Guan and Anher as they pull back and go to their respected lanes once again. As Hades and Odin are looking for potential fight here with Ymir as he is all on his own. Hades initiates, tries to get the slow on, but it appears that Ymir is able to run away as Anhur also joins him once again. So that lane seems like it's going to be just fine for now. However, the right lane, the ultimate of Poseidon has been used, trying to get one off out of the equation as he gets snared by Neith. He gets pulled out. Freya dropping fairly fast by just one ability, gets cloaked. Are we looking at a tower dive here by Sobek? No, they are pulling out as they are not too eager, with the minions also just jumping in. A 1 kill for no death seems to be just fine as Hades finally gets a kill on Anhur. But can they finish off and get a double kill on Ymir? Hades tries to cut off Ymir as he goes back. There's the ultimate of Neith as he almost kills Ymir with it. Or she almost kills it with it. As Odin jumps in and finishes off Ymir. So this red team is definitely not out of the equation. At least, I mean, the red team is slowly being put out of the equation. The blue team, however, is snowballing more and more as Kali tries to perhaps seize an opportunity to get an assassination on, but she's fighting 1 against 2, so she might be in a bit of a difficult situation here as she uses her spin to win ability as he drops awkwardly low, but so does Hades. Can she get the kill? Yes, she can, and Odin is also awkwardly low, but there's Anhur back, so Odin is forced to retreat before he dies as well. So, can Kali carry this game? She had a very rough time in mid and still has, but her ganks in the side lane may prove to be worthy as this game goes on. It does appear that Freya is going to clean up the wave as Kali is not yet back. She's going back, but Freya needs her farm as well because Freya is, of course, known for her amazing burst damage, including for her ultimate. So we'll see how that turns out. We might be looking once again at a potential gank here on the side lanes by Anhur and Ymir, as Ymir is being, or at least standing still on the side lanes. He of course has the blink, so he might be looking at a blink ulti combo right here, and if that works, I want to pay attention to it. There is the blink, there is the stun. Can he follow it up? Can he pull a wall down? Yes, he can, and of course a beautiful combo with the ultimate of Anhur that just tears him down with him out without him even wondering what just happened, because he didn't have any time to wonder what just happened as Hades is trying to clean up the minion wave and pushed him out again. So the blink is dangerous, especially on gods like Ymir. So they are definitely trying to turn this around. They're becoming hyperly aggressive now, and it seems to be paying off as they can't feel any danger from just a Hades. They might just initiate on him as Odin is not back yet. As Kali gets a kill once again, I believe, on Poseidon. So she is definitely getting back in that game. She's slowly getting her items, slowly getting her levels, and it's definitely proving to be worthy. Now Neith, however, almost able to help out Poseidon, but it does appear that she was a little bit too late. So she might just be in a bit of an awkward position. She might feel the need to crush down that mid tower, but Kali is getting confidence. She has her buffs from the spawn, at least from the camps, not the spawn camp, but from the camps, as he might be looking to just jump Neith and pay her for her initial early game, as he goes actually back to buy some items. But there's the Hades ultimate on Anhur. Can he follow up though? There's the pillar. Odin jumps in, kills Anhur, as Ymir uses the ice wall to prevent him from getting caught, and of course runs into safety. So maybe the red team got a little bit too, well, too greedy, too aggressive, as Odin, of course, and Hades as well rely on that aggression, because they can turn those ultimates on you and you will regret life itself. Now the tower here on mid is almost going down for the red team. The first tower of the match, if I'm not mistaken. I am definitely not mistaken. 6 towers are still up. Of course, it's only 12 and a half minutes into the game. So normally you would see a tower going down already. So it's a late tower. Neith is just taking her time, just storming, at least roaming around and just killing and hopefully getting some nice snipes. As the tower here on mid is also for blue almost going down, as he prevents the tower from being destroyed by minions. Now we have 3 people here in mid, so we might be looking at a team fight or a push towards the tower, but Guan comes in from the sideline, gets thrown into the team, so he can push his ultimate and stun, of course, lovely, the back line of blue. Sobek uses his ultimate to zone out the red team as they casually pull back. It's 4 versus 2 right now. Odin is coming in from the sidelines as well, but will he be in time as the pillar has been used? Sobek getting awfully low. The ultimate of Anhur takes down Sobek without even questioning life itself. as Freya actually gets the kill. My bad. Freya getting dropped though, as he is squishy, as he was also caught in the ring of hell, as one would call it, especially for that team comp. Hades tries to initiate Anna, a little bit overextended, so he might be looking for some aggression. He does get the kill though on Neith. Their carry is down now. Ymir using an ice wall to pick off Odin, as Odin does do some nice damage. Do not underestimate Odin, as he actually gets the kill on Anher. There's the Hades ultimate, the late Hades ultimate, keeping Ymir at bay, as well as Kali. But Kali wants you to be close to her. She wants to hug you, as she's using all her AoE moves to get Odin low. But there's the Kraken! The surprise Kraken taking down Kali. And Ymir taking some significant damage. They are looking for a tower dive. Hades taking a lot of damage. He's trying to juke though, as he does use a nice ice wall to juke Hades. Hades getting awkwardly low. He might be looking at a kill. No, he gets out in time. Hades used her banish, trying to hit him, but she failed, unfortunately. The tower goes down as well. And that was just brutal for the red team. They dropped one. It looked so good for them, but they got too greedy. They should have pulled out, and they would have been just fine. Because once, of course, Poseidon comes in with his high burst damage, he also is looking at a gem of isolation. It's no escape. And if you get caught in that escape, or if you're trying to escape and they get you caught, you are done for. The entire blue team is reaping hell, or they are just making red team pay for not getting that early game aggression on. And now that we are, of course, in that mid-game, slowly going to late game, it really proves to be worthy for that team comp of blue. So blue taking a nice lead with 4 kills. Is that the end of the world? Absolutely not. We have seen bigger comebacks already. At least I have come back bigger than just from a 2.5k gold difference. It's the gold difference that counts, not the money. It's not the kill difference. It's always about the money. You should take that into... You should always keep that in the back of your head, as a lot of people don't really do that. As Hades might be in for a gank here. Ymir coming in from the backline, gets a stun by Anher against the wall. He tries to make something happen. He tries to do as much harass as he can. He tries to get away. Anher walks into a death trap as he gets awkwardly low. And Hades actually gets away, because Anher now is, of course, very passive, as he got taken out and killed a few times already. And he doesn't want to do that again, as he's supposed to get all of the kills. As Odin tries to make some work, but it looks like the Spectre Hut doesn't want to allow me to get there, at least not automatically, as Odin and Neith make some work here on Freya as well, making the lead even bigger. It's a lead of 5 kills difference, and the money difference also starts to increase now with a 3k. And now that the money is finally in their pockets, I should probably take a look at the items that they have been building lately. Of course, boots all around, as boots is usually one of the first items everybody should build. Now, I expected, of course, that Odin was to go full tank, but he's looking like actually going to be a bruiser. And Hades is actually going to go for a tank mode by the looks of it. Very smart, as you only really need 1 tank. And as Hades is usually the one that initiates by pulling everybody in as well, it makes sense that he's probably going to be the tank and not a magical caster, because they already have Poseidon. So there you go. Sobek, however, is going to go full tank mode as well, as both Odin and Sobek have that buff ability item. And then judging by our beloved red team, they have a lot of Aegises, because they of course are scared of that burst damage of dying. We see a meditation on Freya. Very interesting choice. With interesting, I mean questionable actually, as meditate makes you very spammable, but it also makes you lose blink or even an Aegis, even though she does have an Aegis, so she might have lost a beat right there. But if we look at the minimap, we might be actually looking at some action right here. Now that Ymir is close as well. No, the red team seems to be spreading out or going towards the mid lane. So will this be a mid lane battle, as the blue first tower on mid is almost going down. So they might be doing a push right there. And they're a little bit overextended as Odin says hello. Will he lock him in? Is his ultimate ready? It appears that his ultimate is ready, but he's not going to lock him in, as he's of course waiting for a better opportunity. Ymir using his ultimate though on Odin, as Odin jumps out. Of course, as Odin can do that. And 1 ultimate wasted. Poseidon coming in from the backline. Kraken used. Anner almost dropping down. Freya getting bursted down by Poseidon as well. That was some lovely surprise play, as you cannot see because you do not have eyes in the back. And Freya fell to that surprise move. And as red is pushed back to their second tower, Blue is not giving up. Quan, however, is trying to make a play here from the sideline with his ultimate, finding an opportunity and making an opportunity, but Hades is turning that around with his beloved ultimate. Poseidon getting another kill on Quan, getting a double kill on Ymir. The tank line is falling for red, and they are chasing right now the assassin Kali by Neve. She gets the snare. Hades actually jumps forward to cut her off as he's trying to stick to the tower, as that is currently her safest spot. But blue team does not care, as they are just going to jump into tower range and actually fight with Anner. Hades dropping awkwardly low. Can he get the kill? Looks like he may very well get it. Is he going to use the pillar? There it is. As Hades is being chased, the damage is being put down, but Neve gets the kill on Kali. Freya tries to use her ultimate, but Aegis is being used by Odin, as Hades finally falls as well by Anner. Anner jumps in though, putting some extra aggression on Odin as Freya picks up the kill. So this is a fight that goes back and forth, back and forth. Red team still proving that they don't want to give up just yet, and that might very well be the spirit that they need, as blue is so reliant on those ultimate combinations to chain those ultimates after ultimates to get that beautiful team fight. But if they don't get that beautiful team fight, red team can turn it around on them and still pick off people. But wow, that was a very nice play from both sides, as the kills don't really seem to be taking that much of a difference. It's always going to be around 5 kills difference. It's currently a 6 kill difference in favor of blue team. Looking at, of course, the items and, of course, the money difference, it's currently still about 3k difference, a little bit over 3k. So the lead is slowly increasing for blue team. But if red team can make some very nice plays and not sacrifice their own lives in the meantime, they might very well turn this round. Gold Fury and Fire Giant are still up. So red team might be looking at a Gold Fury or a Fire Giant for that sake, to get that edge and turn it around on, of course, the blue team. But the blue team right now is taking the buff camps, preventing them, at least preventing the red team from getting that XP from the jungle, and of course taking the XP for themselves. As we might very well be looking at a gank here. Hades coming in from the sidelines. Ymir sees it coming, uses his Ice Wall to prevent them from rushing in as he runs out of danger. At least out of the danger zone. As we are looking for a potential kill by the Kraken. Yes, the Kraken indeed almost killed, of course, the red team, as they are holding their ground. Anner is going to go ham. He's going a little bit in too deep on Poseidon as he gets too greedy. Uses Aegis to tank the tower, but Sobek is not having it as the tower drops in. Poseidon still stands. One is still full health. And this is so unfortunate. Red team dives in a little bit too deep, trying to get desperately those kills, that money that they so desperately need as well. As Freya gets the snipe here from Neve by the ultimate. Oh no, the snare, I mean. It's not the ultimate, or it was the ultimate. I am not entirely sure. Yes, it was the ultimate, not the snare. I am so sorry, as the red team actually gets the kill here on Neve and turns it around on her, thanks to Kali and Quan. Looks like Freya is actually looking for burst damage on Sobek with her ultimate, and she gets it. We might be looking at a Freya carry here if she can keep this up. Once she gets all her items, she is of course a force to be reckoned with, because she scales so good with just gold and time. Because of course the longer the game goes on, the more items she gets, and she scales so beautifully with items. The blue team might be underestimating her. We'll see how this game goes on, as red team seems to be trying to get some camps just to get some XP and keep up with, of course, the XP lead that blue has taken. As we also see the tanks doing the exact same thing. So everybody besides Hades right now has an ability item. Very interesting choice. Hades is going full for items, full tank items as well. As he's also picking up and working now on the bulwark, if I'm not believing. Now the Wall of Absolution. It's not the bulwark, the Wall of Absolution. My bad, as Hades gets a little bit too low for comfort and he pulls out as the red team starts to push on the left lane. The Wall of Absolution is almost done, so the more he gets hit, up to 3 hits I believe, once he finishes up that item, the more tanky he becomes. As Odin picks off Kali, or catches Kali here with his ultimate, but it's on his own. Nobody can really follow up on that with him, so he wasted his ultimate as he gets picked off here by Kali and her, and now Ymir as well. Ymir might be looking for an Ice Wall. There you go. There it is. The stun followed up. The damage is perhaps a little bit too much for Odin as he tries to run away. There's the ultimate of Anner. Drops Odin beautifully. Kali trying to go to the backline as Sobek uses his ultimate to perhaps zone out the red team. There is the Ice Wall to protect the red team from any dangerous engagements by the blue team. as they are pulling back and going for the mid lane. There's the banish on Neve. May we be looking at a good attempt of a kill on their carry. The banish was successful. The slow from Pulse as well. Kali uses her ultimate as Neve is trying to juke as best as he can. Hades jumps in, tries to keep the enemy at bay with his ultimate. Pulling Kali out though, but Sobek does die, and there is Neve as well. Red team stepping up their team. They're stepping up to the challenge and naming or taking names as they have no bubblegum left. And this might very well be the first blue tower on the mid lane, as of course, no, the actual first tower of the game for blue that goes down, as the mid lane tower for red already went down. And it looks like even though red has picked up the lead, they should not become too aggressive. And they should just go back, take the money that they have, spend it, and use this edge and make it at least the edge that they have taken from this fight. And use it once again. Because once you have taken a lead and you get pounded like that by the enemy team, you may get some emotional damage, if you like. You may start to doubt yourself, if not your team. But it's only a matter of time if that's actually going to be the case. But now only a 2-kill difference in favor of still of blue, but only a 2-kill difference. And judging by the money, it's only a K difference right now. So red is definitely working on their comeback, as there is actually a surrender. So there you go. It's not a surrender that goes through, because of course both parties know that they can very much win. So, and it's always unfortunate to see that if there's definitely a chance that you can still win, that people are starting to surrender. It puts down the morale of your team. So if there's still a good chance that you may win, do not give up. Do not ever give up. Of course, there's a line that you have to draw at some point where you want to give up and should give up. But this is definitely not in that line. As the red team gets picked off by the Kraken. Ymir though gets the kill on Hades. Poseidon gets the kill on Kali. It's 1-for-1 right now. But the ring has been launched. People are getting caught in the ring. Anther jumps over the wall, and Odin might get picked off right here as the Whirlpool does a lot of damage on the red team. Odin and Hades fall. The tanks fall. As of course the red team, the entire red team almost drops. Only 2 people left. No, 1 person left. It's Freya as she tries to run away from the enemy. We might be looking at a snare. We might be looking at a... Yeah, no, the snare unfortunately missed. Freya was able to dodge it. But Sobek, is he going to go for the kill or for the charge in? For the tower dive perhaps? No, Freya's going to rely on the defenses of the tower though. As blue may very well be pushing in and get the tower. But no, they're going to pull off, pull away, pull back is what I was looking for. And of course, they might be going back to buy, or they might just stand in the camps and taking Gold Fury if they have the opportunity to do so. Of course, this is possibly a perfect opportunity to do so, as almost the entire red team is still down besides Freya, and only 2 people down on blue. So Freya is just going to stand here, possibly getting a pick on Gold Fury, as I'm not sure if Neve and Sobek has spotted Freya just yet. But there is Freya going in, showing herself. She's putting on Pulse. Is she going to look for a kill? No, she's just going to dance around Gold Fury, making them move as well. So this is going to take a while as Gold Fury is being kited around the line. Sobek is waiting for Freya to go in, hopefully looking for an opportunity, but they waited too long. There's Ymir with his ultimate. Neve jumped out accordingly, and blue team actually gets the Gold Fury. Beautiful steal right there. A beautiful attempt on a steal from Ymir, but blue still times it alright and gets Gold Fury just yet, increasing that gold lead once again. Now, looking at the minimap, the red team is trying to team up and be condensed, which actually may work in favor of blue, even though blue is currently spread out. Their Odin and their Poseidon are still not close, and they do need them. They are key factors of their team play, as Poseidon does see the red team dancing around the Fire Giant right now. So we might be looking for a potential Fire Giant bait, because nobody in their right mind would go for Fire Giant right now. Not even the blue team, because once you are in a position like this, you may be picked off and this team may turn or gets set in stone for the blue team. So we might be looking at a Fire Giant bait once again now by the blue team this time. Everybody is basically just dancing around as Odin is completely on the left lane. Poseidon and Sobek are going towards the right lane as Gwen finally decides to join in the fun, or at least the preemptive team fight banter. As we might be looking for an engage. There it is. Kali goes in. The ice wall has been put. The whirlwall has been placed as well, though. Some AoE damage on the red team, but Sobek falls awkwardly low as Poseidon falls first. Hades pulling everybody in with his ultimate. And we might be looking for, oh, a nice follow-up by Ymir in Hades' ultimate. As Hades is getting awkwardly low, Kali taking a lot of damage from that tower. As Hades does fall to Anther. As we still have a 2-kill difference. Maybe we might be looking at some objective plays. Because the teams that we are seeing right now, they are not looking a lot for some... for the objectives right now. As you can see, it's 4 towers for 4 towers still. And as I say that, they finally start beating on one of the blue towers, giving them the lead actually in the towers. They might have a, they might not have the kill lead, but they definitely have the tower lead right now. But once again, it's only 1 tower. It doesn't mean much of anything, as the red tower here also almost is about to drop. As Odin is trying to look for a play, but Ymir says hello, as well as Freya is there, as well as Quan coming in from behind, but Odin jumps over him and he should be just fine and solid. Looking at a potential fight here on the right lane though. Sobek tries to charge in, but it does appear nothing can come from it, as both sides are... No, blue team is still pushing forward, but it looks like red team is eager to go back and buy some stuff. And it looks like teams right now are all over the map, so we might not be seeing a team fight anytime soon as they clean up the camps, so on and so forth. But looking at the items, Anir, however, though, is looking at, or almost finishing off the Deathbringer, really giving them the crit damage. Looks like Akali almost has her, not Akali, Kali has almost got her full build, as she just needs to sell Death's Toll and get a nice item, including her 6th item as well. So she's almost there. Nobody has a full build just yet, but red team actually is getting there. Blue team, actually only the tanks are getting to full items, including Neve as well. So... based on items, it's not that much of a difference. And as I look at the gold lead, that kind of explains, because red team actually has taken the gold lead right now. Which is surprising, as you saw how far they were behind. More than 3k at some point, but they turned that around. So this game can still go on all sides. Looking at the ability items, Hades still has no ability items. Which is quite surprising, if I say so myself. He's really rushing all the items, which explains why he has 6 items instead of 5. So there you go, as Neve gets picked off beautifully by the red team. And there we go, we might be looking at another kill on Hades, as he gets blocked in by both a Banish and an Ice Wall. Freya gets the kill, and here we go. Unfortunately, but looks like it was Poseidon getting the kill on Anher, if I'm not mistaken. And we might be looking for another kill by Odin right here, as Akali gets put in the ring of spears, but no, she gets away as Quan and Ymir help her out. Odin has to go back as Sobek says hello to the party, and we might be looking at a tank fight here, which is gonna last for ages, and both teams know that as blue slowly pulls out, and only Quan seems to be eager to go for it, as Freya backs him up. We might be looking at a pulse here. Can she get the slow? No. Sobek is out of range, and she pulls out as she follows up with Ymir. Might be looking at another kill at Poseidon here, as the Whirlpool slows down them, but the Banish puts up Poseidon in the air, the Ice of Wall, so he cannot escape, as the slow of Pulse also keeps him at bay. There we go, the kill on Poseidon by Freya, beautifully placed. The kills are now equal. Red team is really stepping up the game, so my early prediction of blue team basically dominating the late game might have been a bit off. The early game has been dominated by blue, and red is currently just completely dominating the red team, changing things around. So that was a beautiful play by red as well, as they pick off the enemy team. And now that, of course, the blue team has some dangerous deaths, or doesn't have the view counter, the counter, the number counter, or the numbers, actually, I should say. I'm getting a little bit confused. The numbers to follow it up, they actually enter the Fire Giant, as Odin tries to make a play with the Ring of Spears, trying to do enough damage so the Fire Giant can help, hopefully, take out the red people, or the red team, as Kali is desperately trying to get the Fire Giant, but it looks like blue might be looking for a steal, and blue gets the steal of the Fire Giant. Beautifully played by both Odin as well as Sobek, but it does appear that Sobek gets killed. Odin died as well, and Neve might be looking to get killed as well, as Neve is very squishy, and there joins the party. Hades desperately tries to use an ultimate, which basically picks up everybody, as Quan and Kali die as well. Oh, this is brutal, as of course Anher drops, or at least jumps through the wall. Hades, however, can follow him with his one, and Anher still has the spear to bash him back. Can he, however, follow it up, though? We might be looking at a chase of the century right here, as Anwer can still jump away, but can get Hades. Hades might be able to rush in. No, it doesn't look like it, as Anwer jumps to safety. Oh, wow, that was a dangerous dance around Fire Giant. Blue team turned that around on them, and they actually stole the Fire Giant, got a kill lead back again, and actually, no, they still don't have the gold lead though. It's a minimal gold, no wait, yeah, they don't have the gold lead. It's a minimal gold lead for red though. It's almost nothing if you look at the numbers. So teams are pretty much equal, even though some of the blue team have the Fire Giant buff, so the clear edge right now overall goes to the blue team. The numbers are still down. Blue team is slowly respawning. 2 people left. Odin is about to respawn as the red team still has 3 people down for a quite significant amount of time, as we are seeing basically both teams cleaning out camps, looking for potential people that can be caught off. As Anther is fighting Hades, but Hades is a tank and he's proving himself to be worthy, as he also has the Fire Giant buff, so he regens like crazy as Anther finally decides to move out and pull back to safety. Oh, this game, guys, this game, my predictions were so off, and I'm quite happy with that. I hate when my prediction is right, so I can still be surprised. And it definitely happened. There were some beautiful plays, and this game is still far from over. However, blue only has 2 towers left as well, which is also a thing to note. And at the end of the day, Conquest is about the objectives. Hades still no at least ability items. And Ymir only 1 ability item, so we might see what they pick up later. I'm actually quite curious what Hades will pick up, as we already see some generic ability buff items from both Sobek as well as Odin. And actually also from Poseidon, by the looks of it. So they are definitely looking at that constant powerful buffing of each other and just doing so much damage, as we only see 1 generic buff item, the Girdle of Might, on red, but a lot more Aegises and beads. Which kind of makes sense, because once you get caught by blue team, you want to get the hell out or you're dead. So that kind of makes sense. It's a perfect counter. But will it be perfect enough, as the next team fight, the next big team fight might decide this game if the casualties are not too much on one side and are severe on the other. Looks like we might be getting a jungle fight though, as Kali is pulling back out. Ymir is initiating on Odin as the red team says hello. The ultimate of Ymir zones out, but Odin picks up Freya in his ultimate as she flies casually out with her lovely wings. Aegis has been used by Odin. 1 dropping low. The Kraken pops out as well, doing massive damage on Quan. Neve gets the kill on Quan, finishing him off as Ymir and Anther and Kali trying to drop Hades, but it doesn't seem to be the case. However, they might get a drop on Odin though, as Freya joins in the party, slows him down as well, so he can't get away. Kali drops, unfortunately. Odin gets dropped, so the kill lead is now in favor once again of blue, or still in favor of blue, as another drop gets made on Anther. Oh, this was beautifully done, beautifully baited as well by blue, because the jungle is a lot more condensed, and blue shines with all their ultimates, so you can't barely escape, and it surely proves to be effective enough to get another kill lead, or increasing their kill lead by another 3, and if I'm not mistaken, taking the gold lead back as well. Yes, definitely taking that gold lead back, significantly so, as you can see. As Poseidon is keeping Ymir at bay. Hades joining in as well. We might be looking at a tower push. No, they're just going to clean up the minions. And hopefully steal Gold Fury once again. Ymir knows this, as he's just going to check on Gold Fury. No, right, they have a ward, so they can't see it. As he just says hello to Neve, and hopefully maybe looking for a steal. As Neve is not having it. Sobek joins in as well. As to zone out, of course, Ymir, as Gold Fury slowly drops more and more. As Hades actually coming in from behind, as Ymir is so focused and so tunnel vision on that Gold Fury. It's 3-3-1 now, and it looks like Poseidon is close by as well. So we might be looking at a Gold Fury kill by blue, and another kill by Ymir, but he of course has a perfect ice wall. And the only one who can really follow that up, or at least chase him, is Hades, as he can go through walls. Freya's is low as well, so now they may be looking to be scared, but no, Hades has a lot of magical protection, so he just initiates, so Freya gets forced to use her banish and move out. Red team should be grouping up quite slowly or quite early right now, and hopefully get a nice kill. They're looking to get some early XP as well, as all big buffs appear to be up, if I'm not mistaken. Just gonna check on that. No, they're all down. My bad, I interpreted the icons wrong. There you go. They're all down. No, they're all they're now up. They were almost down, but they are all up now. And we might be looking at the red team who's gonna grab them. No, they're not getting grabbed up. As we might see another fire dance around the fire giant. Things may be getting hot in here. And no, do not take off all your clothes. As Freya initiates a little bit too aggressively. They could turn it around on Freya because she is squishy, of course. Guan going around. We have Ender there as well. There's the ice wall. Basically catching Sobek, but of course he has the ultimate, which allows him to escape quite quickly. But the red team is not having it. Freya uses his ultimate to bring down Sobek, gets the first kill of this team fight, as Ender actually forces Hades back. One dances with Hades a little bit, as the Ring of Spears actually work against Odin, as it's 3v1. Nobody really works on that, because it's important to chain the ultimates. And doesn't appear to be the case. He's looking for potential kill on Freya though. But he knows the dangers of Ymir being that close. As he is just going to run away. And hopefully use the ability to jump through walls to juke the enemy sufficiently. However, the fight is not over, as it is Hades versus Ender, as Guan does join the party. But Odin does that as well. And we might be looking for potential kill here on Ender. But no, Freya says hello, comes into the party, uses her slow with pulse. Odin dropping fairly low. Guan knows this, and her as well, as he jumps in. Can we be looking at a kill? Perhaps an ultimate. Has the ultimate already been used? Yes, all ultimates have been used in the game, as words escape me. Apparently words are my ultimate and I used them wrongly. But it looks like Red is aggressively pushing so, as they turned everything around on that blue team. And as you can see, they're spamming Fire Giant. They are not looking to kill that Phoenix. No, they're going to turn around. They could have potentially picked up the Phoenix. But some of the members are rather low and they would have face tanked it. Which of course doesn't give the same amount of money and the same amount of an edge as the Fire Giant does. Wow, this of course is a very safe Fire Giant. Odin knows they are going for the Fire Giant. But he probably can't do a hell of a lot on his own. Especially not now. Now Red Team doesn't actually have to go back, because the regen that they have from the Fire Giant is sufficient. But they do go back, as they actually getting close to getting the same level, at least the same amount of gold once again. It's a bit of an okay difference though, but at this stage of the game it probably doesn't really matter all that much, as almost all builds are finishing up. We're looking at 5 complete items and a starting item for the most richest of peoples in this team, at least in both teams. Looking at who has the most money, it's actually Kali by the looks of it. Which is quite nice, because Kali had so much trouble early game. But of course all her AoE moves allow her to farm so generously during the match itself. And she is looking at almost a full build. So she's saving up to buy that last item, and probably in one go. As she's also buying wards and has the beats and the Aegis. Now Freya still has the meditate. And finally Hades picking up the very first ability item. Finally, it took him quite a long time. As he finally picks it up as well. It's a shielded recall. So it's quite interesting why he would pick that up, especially at this stage of the game, because yeah, it's questionable. Maybe he is looking at something specific to do with it. However, I'm not aware of, so I might be looking for some funnies there, as both teams are finally collapsing on each other, as my X didn't work for that. Sorry, I was pressing X, but sometimes it didn't work. But the team fight is working. Tower goes down. Red is pushing hard. Ice Wall prevents them from moving out quickly. They have to use their movement abilities. The Phoenix, however, says hello as well, as they attack the tank line. But will that be enough, as the rings have been used? The Ring of Spears have been used around the Phoenix, so they get that initial damage from the Phoenix, which hits harder and harder. And even though the Phoenix does drop, oh wow, it's only a 1-for-1, so the red team actually turned it around quite nicely, as the blue team had the tower, and they were able to take out a tank. So they have no hard tank line, as they are looking for a second Phoenix. They're just tanking it with phases and minions, as the blue team finally understands the severity of the situation, as Odin desperately jumps in as he gets taken out. The greed, the confusion of blue team, oh wow, I'm not even sure what words I have to use. They are just so desperate. That's what I was looking for. Bloody hell, I'm desperate for the word desperate, as I was unable to desperately find the word desperate, as red team keeps on going. They of course have that Fire Giant buff. They have a slight edge. The Phoenix, even though it's made of fire, it has nothing on that Fire Giant buff. And a full team, Freya is the only one who is down. So are they going to continue? It looks like they will not. 2 people down though. The tank line, the entire tank line, almost the entire tank line of blue is down. They only have Sobek. as the blue team still has, means the red team, they still have Guan and of course Ymir. And they're just gonna take the entire map down, getting massive tower control. All blue towers are down. They have 2 phoenixes down. The gold lead is severely in red team's hand right now. The kill lead is in gold man's hand. They have the fire giant buff. It's going to be brutal. They don't even care about the phoenix at this stage. They just went and tried to get a kill on blue team. They're trying to zone him as well as they force the fire phoenix. Oh, but there you go. They might go a little bit too greedy. The fire phoenix is still hitting them as they finally are forced out the ultimates. The AoE ultimates catching multiple people off guard as the kill count gets equalized. Thanks to a beautiful Kraken, a beautiful Hades ultimate, and Sobek finishing off a Kali just for good measure, giving up that attack, the kill lead that the red team had, but not yet the gold lead though. So this is one of the problems why, you know, if it's a close game and certain teams get a little bit too hyphy, a little bit overextensive, a little bit too greedy, they may turn it around, and they did it flawlessly. They could have probably forced a, probably forced the Minotaur, or the Minotaur, depending on how you want to call it, and won the game, because they did have the Fire Giant, they had 2 Phoenixes down, that Minotaur would have melted. But now they give another opening to the blue team to basically come back. They had an opening to close it, they didn't use it. Perhaps they were too... yeah, they were just too greedy, they gave it away actually. There's just no way around it. Looks like most of red team is going back, as of course most of red team is also still dead. So the people that are still alive there are going to go back, and if blue team uses a powerful push, they might be able to get tower control or equalize towers, I mean. But it looks like blue team is also going back and picking up some last items. As the first complete builds are being finished by Poseidon, there you go. We see potions of magical mites coming already on the field. Everybody has full ability items. Still Hades, still not using 2 ability items. Even though he almost has a full build, he still has a mark. Looking at, of course, Kali with the most money in game. Still at this time. Also has finished off the entire build. Actually took up a defensive item. The Bulwark of Hope, which kind of makes sense considering the massive amounts of burst magical damage they have from either Hades or, of course, especially Poseidon, judging by his items especially. And, oh wow, it looks like Freya's almost done with her build. No, she is done with her build as well. Oh, and this is going to get nasty. They are all basically finishing up the camps for the last team battle. This truly is going to be the last team battle, and it might revolve around the Fire Giant. Will this be it? Who knows? I am desperately hoping for this fight to be an epic fight of epic proportions. Otherwise, you can't really use it to be, or define it as epic if it's not of epic proportions. Oh, wow. Red is going to go for the Fire Giant. Blue team is not responding just yet. They do have a ward, but just not a ward in front of the Fire Giant. So it looks like Red actually gets an uncontested Fire Giant, even though the entire blue team is up. This is a throw of blue team potentially. They should have fought it. Oh, but they still have the opportunity if they fight in the jungle to get all the AoEs. But red team is not having it. They are forcing people to split up. They are basically blocking them away. They're zoning them out with ultimates, with ice walls. And Anders going ham on Sobek. Burning down that tank line. Neith getting possibly moved out of the equation as well, as Anther gets a little bit too ham and he gets taken out by Neve, as Odin gets taken out as well. So it's a 1-for-1 as well, but that got turned around. Neve drops because of Kali, as it's a 2-for-1 right now in favor of red team. They do have the Fire Giant buff, and the Phoenixes, even though they are slowly getting back up, red team still has to fight through Hades, Poseidon and Sobek. Definitely a dangerous force to be reckoned with. They are looking potentially for a split push. Freya in mid, Ymir, Guan, and of course Kali on the left side, on the right side I mean. They are melting down the Phoenix. Mid Phoenix is also melting, has melted by Freya. Freya now has melted the mid Phoenix as she's going to go to the right lane, helping out, melting the other Phoenix, as her attack damage right now is super insane, super quick, super impressive in fact. And she of course is actually quite surprisingly tanky. Don't underestimate it. She has 2 health items. No wait, she has 1 health item, 1 item skilled. No wait, she has 2 health items. My bad. I should trust my previous and of course my first instinct and knowledge. As Hades is just being camped right now. Freya is burning him down, slowing him, keeping him out of the equation as the Minotaur melts. Oh wow. And this is what I was looking for when they had 2 Phoenixes down. Once you have a Phoenix down, the Minotaur becomes weaker and your minions, of course, also become stronger. Oh wow, red team making a beautiful play. They turned that around impressively well. They gave it away, giving an opportunity to blue, a window of opportunity of blue, to take it back and just give it away, but blue didn't take it, and red basically retook their present that they gave to blue and, well, unwrapped it themselves. And it was a wonderful fight. Blue actually got more kills in the end, surprisingly so, but red finished it off, and it was one hell of a fight. Lovely. Like, you can understand why I predicted the AoEs to be potentially be the key to victory in those team fights, but red team, they turned it around quite nicely. Of course, Freya and Anher, especially Freya, she did so splendidly. 12-7, 11-9. So Freya was definitely the carry for the red team of the most part. If not, everybody played amazingly. And on the blue team, it was supposed to be Neith, and apparently it was also Neith. But she got picked off of the equation because Kali jumped her constantly, so she couldn't just stand there and attack. Oh, it was one hell of a fight. And of course, some lovely items. I'm not sure why Odin still went with a lot of attack items. At least a lot of tank items, considering they had a lot of effective tanking. But yeah, the red team had a lot of squishies. They had Freya, Kali's relatively squishy as well, and Anther as well. And that was their main damage. So if they took that out by burst damaging, by having not 3 tanks basically, but 2 tanks, and just being able to jump on that backline and burst them down as well, it might have been a different fight. But that's just speculation as this Shoutcast comes to an end. So let me know what you think about my first attempt at a Smite Shoutcast. Let me know what I can improve upon. What do I think I can improve upon myself? Well, in the heat of battle, I tend to misspeak myself. Also, this Shoutcast has lasted for 50 minutes, and I'm also doing multiple things at the same time. In a new environment, in a Smite environment, of course. I did the camera work, which was sometimes a little bit late in professional esports. You see other people doing the camera work, so the casters can purely focus on casting, which allows them to not misspeak as often as I did. Of course, I still have a lot to learn in Smite myself as well, so the knowledge that I have is not instinctively coming to the surface. I still have to think too much, and considering all the other things that are happening, it's a little bit tricky. But definitely something I want to get better at, so I'm going to go and keep on practicing, as I hope you guys will enjoy my practice road as well into shoutcasting, and I will catch you guys next time. Take care.